work, Phil. I gotta be perfect right now. Oh, you and Chris.
I'm telling you, if I wasn't around, Phil would be
in trouble.
No, he'd be a lot more stricter than I am.
That's true.
Probably right. Probably correct.
Oh, I got to start the comments.
Oh boy, here we go with the comments.
He's the guy who throws the trash on the ground and gets pissed off that nobody else.
I don't throw trash on the ground. I always pick my trash up every night I leave.
There's literally a spree box.
I'm the only one that's ever
the
vacuumed
ground.
in this place.
That's a lie.
That's cap.
That's
cap.
That's cap.
There's a spree box right here. You literally threw on my head 30 minutes ago.
Well, I actually threw it in the trash. You said no.
No, I did. That was the other piece of candy you had.
Nope, not talking to you. I don't like the facts you're spitting right now because they're facts. Oh, wait, did Duke beat KU basketball? KU won.
It was a good game. Good college game.
This kid's a 7th grader.
The judge is getting up. We could do it another day, she says. All right, V-Mix, Cody Knox.
Host.
Evening, Chris, Phil, Ronnie. Comments are working on YouTube. We know that for sure.
Does my mic work? People need to hear me.
Am
I on?
Sure they are working.
Am I on? Did we run a internet test too? I mean, did we do it all? Because I know downtown's been having trouble with the internet. Oh, stand by.
It's research on her picks.
Is that Jinx?
Yeah.
Union.
Trojans.
The
Here's Bixby.
loud and clear says Sarah P.
Therapy.
Leonard.
Sarah's in the truck watching.
Hope you guys are
Leo.
doing well.
My boy Leo.
Chubbo, your mic works according to Cody Knox.
How's mine?
Hey, there's our Facebook comment. Thank you, Miss Barbara. All mics working. I bet Barbara is picking Guthrie to beat Grove this week.
Sure.
It's not a bad pick. Phil?
Who's that?
Guthrie Grove.
Oh, we're calling the game. We're not allowed to talk about it.
No, that'd be good.
No, we can talk about it.
She said she picked Guthrie. That's not a bad pick, right?
It's not a bad pick at all.
Grove wouldn't be a bad pick either.
No, they're 10-0, 11-0.
11-0. Best running back in state. Well,
Oh boy. Here
second
we go.
best.
Leonard says, Ronnie, you're over talking all of them.
Oh.
No.
Imagine that.
That's good. Yeah.
Make sure his microphone's not.
Got to play all Phil over here. You all strict today.
Well, we don't got time to mess around. You lose and you go home.
No, we still work no matter
Yeah,
what.
I know, but sounds better
We
if I
got
say we lose or
semis,
go
then we
home.
got state championships.
We're already working on semi games next week.
Yeah.
Oh, what's more research?
Is that Wagner?
Yeah, could be. Let me see.
6:02.
It's Tuttle.
Are we ready to go live?
Oh, yeah, we're late. We got to go.
Live for the show, I mean.
Oh, we gotta go live. We're not mailing it in tonight.
All right. Sarah P., I gave your number to, well, Chubbo knows, so you might have a number that you don't recognize, but it's for you. They have a question. Here we go. Intro. Hello and welcome everyone to the High School Huddle. It is Wednesday, November 16th, round 2 of the Oklahoma High School Playoffs. Along with Ronnie Phillips, Phil Nichols, Chris Evans, we are brought to you by our good friends at Generations Church. Love God, love people, serve both well. 2524 West Noble Avenue in Guthrie, Oklahoma. Also help with many surrounding areas. Yep. And reach out to them if you have any questions or needs. They would be glad to get you in the right directions on Facebook. Of course, you can go to their website right there you see on your screen. And you can always email them or give them a phone call, all that good stuff. Big thank you to Generations Church. Round 1 playoffs were outstanding last week. A couple of upsets.
Yeah.
Couple of,
biggest one in 4A, maybe?
4A, then we have like a number 2.
Did Bethany go down?
Bethany went
Bethany
down.
went down, yep.
We also had one go down in, was it 2A football?
Yes. Rejoice Christian got beat by Beggs.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
The Fighting Riding. They know when to. They know when to turn it on.
Ryan knows when to turn it on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And don't forget about the Clinton Red Tornadoes. Big victory last week
Over Bethany. We covered that.
over Bethany, yeah. Remember how you guys talked about how it might be a little bit of blowout? I said, not so fast. It could be a real good game. Clinton's
Who'd you
been there
pick?
before. I picked Bethany.
Okay.
Just because you bullied me into it.
Yeah. Clinton won that game 34-27. So what was our number 2 4A ball club goes down. They are out of the top.
Playing basketball.
Playing basketball on the wrestling mat. All that good stuff.
Yeah. Moved on to winter sports.
Of course, 6A football. You had the top 2 teams in each district have byes, including Bixby, Jinx, Union, Owasso, Stillwater, Choctaw, Booker T, and Ponca City. But those games will quickly pick up in 6A football. And then real quickly, we're just hitting these real fast. 5A football, 5A2 goes 4-0, including the we call it an upset. Piedmont over Midwest City, the 4 beating the 1.
Yeah, it's definitely an upset. Yeah. 4 beating 1. 5A2 establishing that they're still, don't forget about us. 5A3's kind of, of course, they went 3-1, I believe.
5A3, yeah.
Yeah. So 5A2 is the only district to come out of the first round undefeated.
5A1 went 0-4. 5A4 went 1-3.
Yep.
And with our high school huddle rankings all season long, it has been all 5A2 and all 5A3 teams. Now, Grove did get in there towards the
end.
week 10, I think.
Yep.
In the top 5 there. And Grove and Coweta, the 2 undefeated teams at 11-0. Coweta will have Bishop McGinnis this week, and Guthrie will be on the road in Grove.
Yeah.
So
2 big games.
great matchups in 5A. We'll break it down here in a minute, but just Carl Albert, Del City. I mean, it is a big time bracket.
Well, I mean, it's stupid, these second round games. I mean,
State semis on both sides, really.
well, there's there's one of those games that to me is a state championship game.
Yeah.
I mean, Carl Albert and Del City. I mean, it's it's got that feel. It'll have that look. 2 of the best in 5A, no doubt.
And we'll break it down here a little bit. I mean, you look at 4A, Tuttle Wagner, Clinton Poto, Cushing Blanchard. I know Cushing would be heavy favorites in there, but Blanchard,
Very capable.
top 17, top 5 team, a good part of the season, very capable. Then you real quickly, 3A football, Metro Christian, Cashel Hall, 1 game, Holland Hall and Stigler, another game, Verdigris and Perkins, another game. So, I mean, you have some big time matchups when you cross bracket East and West.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you always have these conversations about, and of course, Grove in 5A has been talked a lot this year. So, well, the schedule's not the toughest, schedule's not this. We're going to find out this week, right? Guthrie, 9-2 on the year. Got the big win in Elgin last week where, guys, we called that game. What a defensive performance by the Blue Jays. I mean, we had, I believe the stat was we had one more offensive possession or play, one more offensive play than they had in total yards.
Yeah, if I remember right.
Was that right?
Guthrie had rushed the ball 64 times.
Okay.
And Elgin had 64 yards of offense, including -4 yards in the second half.
Yeah.
Elgin only had the ball offensively 3 times. Three times in the second half. And in total, Elgin against Guthrie, Guthrie's defense saw the Elgin offense 9 times, and Elgin punted all 9 times.
Yeah, it was
I don't know if
dominant.
I've ever seen that before.
I don't think I have.
We were done by
think I have.
8:50.
Yeah.
And,
We were.
I know.
And I don't know if you guys out there have ever seen our production and all the equipment that we have. We called the game, we broke down all the equipment, cleaned everything up, and we were on the road by 10:15.
Oh, yeah. And that was, it was before that because
I
that's
remember
like,
you saying
that's like on the highway going home
yeah.
after we stopped and got food.
right.
So it was a quick night, and the Blue Jays should be very proud of that defensive performance last week. Of course, been working hard all this week to get ready for those undefeated Grove kids.
And we're kind of over the place right now, but we're going to kind of go each bracket and all that good stuff here in just a moment. But another thing that pops out to me, Ponca City beats Tahlequah 35-7. That is Ponca City's first playoff victory since 1986.
I was a fresh-faced 19-year-old kid.
Ronnie was 2.
What year? 86?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years old.
He
Phil,
was
how
2
old
years
are you?
old last time Ponca City
I
won.
was kicking 20's door down.
You were overseas, weren't you? About that
I
time?
actually was. Yeah.
But congratulations to them. Enid goes on the road and beats Ed Memorial. So Enid with the playoff victory. Remember, 12 out of 14 teams in 6A1, 12 out of 14 teams in 6A2 qualified for the state bracket. But with that aside, they still qualified. And so congratulations to Enid and Ponca City, who have struggled over the last. I mean, you have to go up against the Broken Arrows and the Unions and the Jinx and all these teams all the time. So they're not. I remember it came up, Coach Harmon with Ponca City goes, I don't really like the expanded playoffs, but if we get in, I'm not going to argue. So I think that's the exact way to say it.
Yeah, and we've got some viewers from Kansas that follow high school football real closely there. Mike and Leo both follow high school sports. And in Kansas now, first round of their playoff, everybody's in.
Yeah.
Everybody. So it's not real. I mean, and they start the playoffs, we are week 8, I believe it is.
Whereas, normal classes outside of 6A football, 5A down to C, half the field makes the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which I think is about right.
I like how 6A is doing it this year compared to last year, because now instead of having 2 weeks off for a state championship game, they have the first week of the playoffs instead.
Yeah, and I think I like how it's all set up. Honestly, I think it's a good field.
Yeah, it's fine.
That was
I like it.
the football and the way it comes up. Football Coaches Association have their meetings, and then they take that to the OSSAA, and more times than not, OSSAA accepts it pretty quick. If not, they might have to wait a couple of years to work some things out there. But yeah, it was a fun week. There was I'm trying to pull up here real quick. And one game that was really, really fun to watch. It was an overtime victory for Bartlesville over Lawton, 36-30. We didn't pick it last week on our show, but I would have picked Lawton to win that game.
I would have too.
I would have picked Bartlesville.
Yeah, but Bartlesville wins it.
I would have.
Wait a second. Stand by.
If you guys pick Lawton, I definitely was going. If you guys were going to pick Lawton, I was definitely going to go opposite. So I'd at least had another extra one.
Oh, is that what you're blaming all your losses on?
Well, I got to make a move. I mean, I can't.
Maybe you should have made a move in week 2.
Well, you guys just go ahead and pick the same thing like you do every week.
Well,
don't make it no fun.
Go 9-1.
Don't make it no fun. It's no fun.
Get him right.
You go 9-1. I mean,
it's no fun.
Was he this way when he was small?
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, that's kind of the recap of some of the bigger games. We're going to go through the bracket here in a little bit and talk about that as well. But also, there was some big time performances. And the game I watched a couple of times, I've gotten to halftime. I haven't watched the second half yet. Was that Grove-Sapulpa game. Last week I said Sapulpa Grove could be a little bit on upset alert there. And it was close for a while, but then Grove just took it to him. Emmanuel Crawford.
A tough one.
Talented running back. 27 rushes for 294 yards, 6 touchdowns in that victory over Sapulpa.
Against a good Sapulpa football team.
What do you think about him, Phil? Emmanuel Crawford?
Emmanuel?
Yeah.
Speed guy.
Yeah.
Fast kid. Seems like a very well-spoken young man. I know he's got offers from some Ivy League schools and some military academies.
It's a great story.
It is a great story.
Our man Cameron Jordan, I think last year did a story on me. I think sold to slavery as a child at 5 years old.
Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, and crazy story.
Yeah.
And
will you agree he's a speed kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's slick.
Very big person.
Well, and the little bit I've watched a couple of games with Grove, he gets hit in the backfield, and gets hit, lost, but a 35-yard or 45 run is waiting to happen at any given play.
Over 6,000 yards in his career already.
I mean, it's amazing, and the quarterback does a good job of putting the ball, throwing the ball at times. So Grove 11-0. I mean, despite what the record or their schedule, they beat Wagner.
Yeah, it's a good football team.
Beat Collinsville.
Yep.
Last year's state champion. Yep. And then beat Sapulpa, a team that
3 good wins.
They gave McAllister everything they wanted.
Yeah, 3 good wins.
Outside of that, it was teams struggling to be at 500 below, but still.
But wouldn't you agree that Crawford's probably 90% of their team offensively?
He's a big part of it.
I mean,
he makes a lot of things.
Now, listen, it's easy to say, well, all we got to do is contain him.
Yeah.
But if you've ran for 6,000 yards, there's been a lot of failed attempts at containing him.
Yeah.
I mean, so he's a pretty special young man.
Yeah, he will. Of course, we'll have that broadcast as we travel 3 hours.
Oh.
That doesn't count pit stops for Phil's belly. Loves convenience store snacks.
Really my belly.
Well, I heard it's going to be 75, 78 degrees. So, I mean,
brain,
ready.
in my brain.
I'm excited about it.
For all you folks going to games on Friday night, there's a 14-day weather window that has the temperatures. That Friday is the coldest day of them all. Of them all. What was the high of what, guys? 30?
29 that day.
29's the high.
Is the high.
It'd be 16 degrees that night.
And just for the record, Chris, I don't know if you're going to point this out. We have to do
I'm
a
sure-
broadcast from the
Outside.
outdoors on top of the stadium. It's been a rough few days.
Well, you said on top of the stadium?
Top of the press.
The press box.
I wouldn't call it a press box.
Okay, on top of the tallest point. We're going to be at the tallest point.
If it was a press box, we'd be inside.
Oh, boy.
So, like our cameraman last week? That's how we're
Oh, yeah,
going to be?
no, that's
That's us.
exactly what we're doing.
Yeah. Anybody want to invite me to a party or? Oh my goodness!
I talked to both your friends. They said you couldn't go with them.
Ooh. Yeah, we're on top.
No, it's going to be. At least the wind's not going to blow.
Can I just do the sideline report then?
Scheduled. Scheduled.
Yeah, it's going to be a cold night, but we will persevere. Are we wearing jackets or are we going to go short sleeve shirts?
You know, we are working on tarps.
Oh no, we got heaters, we
Generators,
got tarps, we got
heated blankets.
we got Arctic boots
I
coming.
mean, you can't make a first and 10 for the Blue outdoor broadcast.
Yeah, it's not good.
That's not.
Gotten
Of course, a lot of
soft.
people. I listened to a couple of guys that were outdoors last week, so you know, if they can do it, we can do it. I was just griping
Was
about
it
it.
was it below 20?
No.
Well, the good thing is this will be the last time we're outside all year long.
Yeah, you never know.
Scheduled.
UCO has
Scheduled.
UCO has a beautiful indoor facility that we'll be a part of, and
See what the semis call
Are
for.
we doing semis?
Started that discussion today. Nothing finalized.
We need to know who we're potentially going to do so we can stay away from those games.
Well,
we'll base it on press box.
yes, it will be based on press box.
It's not going to be who's playing. Chris is going to say, "Can you send me pictures of the press box layout?" Please?
Well, if it's a semifinal game, I'm sure
It's
we've
gonna
been
be nice.
we've
No, it's
been
gonna-
there before.
We've been
so.
there, yeah.
Some other individual accolades to go out to Camden Crooks. You know, we was talking about Burrow. It's the quarterback at Cushing, rightfully so. But Camden Crooks, of course, we know.
Somebody's got to catch him.
Yeah, his of course grandfather was a longtime coach in Guthrie, drum right, and now lives in Cushing. But they shut out Broken Bow. And guys, Broken Bow was in our top 5 a couple of times
Yeah,
in Class
they were.
4A football.
Good
Cushing,
football team.
All right, Broken Bow, good job. Kept Cushing down to 46 points, not 60, not 70. But Broken Bow can't score. But Camden Crooks, the wide receiver, 7 catches, 174 yards, 4 touchdowns in that victory over Broken Bow. Well, that was a good trip.
Gosh, how many yards does he have on the year?
Oh, I don't know if I can count that.
It's got to be well over 1,200 yards, doesn't it? I bet he's close to 2,000 yards in receiving.
I don't
I bet
think
he is.
that high.
I bet he's over 1,500.
Yeah, probably. I would probably.
If they make it to the finals, which I think all of us assume that they're favored to at least make it to the finals,
Can be. I've told, and we talked
he's
about.
got a realistic chance of being over 2,000.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that 4A bracket in a minute. But remember last week said if Cushing wins it, they went through the schedule.
Oh,
to
there's no
earn it.
doubt.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
We'll break down 4A bracket here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Red Martell, the junior running back for Beggs, who many people think he might be the best running back in the state.
He's a junior?
He's a junior.
Going to Kansas commit.
Is that committed to Kansas?
He verbally committed last week.
Okay. Did not know that.
Yep.
Very cool. 43 carries.
Football school.
43. They won last night over Duke. Basketball. Without Bill Self.
That's what you do. That's what you do when the men are playing football.
I thought that was
Basketball.
wrestling.
Well, it's still football. So
Okay, all right. Anyway, Red Martell, 43 carries, 359 yards, 4 touchdowns, 55-yard touchdown reception, 48-28 victory over number 2 Rejoice Christian.
Who had put 70 on Bags earlier in the year? Remember when they played early
that
in the
right?
season?
Yeah, that's right.
It was 70
Week
to
2 or
something, like
that.
70 to 20 something.
Yeah.
I mean, they just beat the brakes off of
A
them.
little payback, did they?
Oh, that little Kansas commit said, "Hey, watch this." You guys didn't know he committed? To
No, I
Kansas?
didn't know that, no.
Or verbally.
Yeah, Rejoice
Might
Christian.
change that.
Rejoice Christian, the second game of the season, beat them 70-16.
76-10. I knew it was
Yeah.
a blowout, but
Yeah. So
they won when it mattered.
they certainly did that. Chase Ward, Casha Hall, 11 carries, 112 yards, 2 touchdowns, 27-yard touchdown reception, added 10 tackles and a sack. When you say, man, 11 carries for 112 yards, that's That's awesome. 11 carries, 112 yards, but then Red Martell, 359 yards. Emmanuel Crawford, 300 yards. It just makes, how hard it is to run for 100 yards. And we just say, hey, Emmanuel this week rushed for 300 yards. That is a tough thing to do. And those guys make it easy. And that's every week for them.
Yeah, it's week in and week out.
And I didn't see the individual numbers for another great running back. It's a good year for running backs in high school football. But Carl Albert, easy victory over Lott MacArthur, 35-7.
Xavier Robinson, he ran for 1,300 yards last week.
Broke the Carl Albert record.
Yep,
over 2,000 yards.
2,008 yards. And guys, remember, there's been a couple guys named Oku running the football.
Played in the NFL.
And the one that really stands out for me, Carl Albert, was standout. Man, he was so good. Mike Gaddis.
Ooh.
He was a great OU running back before he got hurt.
Yeah. Well, Gaddis was kind of that can't miss to go to the NFL coming out of high school.
Yeah, that knee injury.
Yeah.
Knee injury
and
against
back
Texas.
in the day when knee injuries were the end of your career.
Yeah.
Everybody can't push through a knee injury like some people.
4A football. Phil, when's your surgery?
I don't want to talk about it. It's coming up.
Really get that hip out there.
Had to back it up because you yelled at me and said we had to do the second round of the state championship games.
Total beat Chickasha 41-7. Quarterback Mason Dennis, the senior. I always talk about the two young running backs. Don't forget the senior quarterback kind of keeps the Title Tiger offense balanced. 136 yards, 2 touchdowns, had a 68-yarder. Also had a 7-yard score.
Rookie.
That's a rookie mistake.
Trey Stevenson of Perkins. Perkins got a tough game. We're going to be picking that here in a little bit. He played big roles offensively and defensively in their victory over Marlowe. River Warren. Should be a junior. Yeah, should be a junior quarterback. 4 touchdowns in the 46-20 victory over El Reno. They'll need every single one of those passes this week.
Plus a couple
more as they take on Coweta. More on that here in a little bit.
He's a good little quarterback. We saw River up front here. We called that game between the Blue Jays and them, and he's a competitor, real tough kid.
Lost 2.5 teeth that game.
Got teeth knocked out and didn't miss a play, and didn't miss the following week, and then he had an announcer call him a coward because he slid on a play.
Yeah.
Never forget that.
That was not good.
He should be banned from ever announcing a high school
Touchdown
game.
pass, a 63-yarder, 42-yarder, 38-yarder, and a 14-yarder. And one last one as we hit a break here. Remember, Piedmont feeding Midwest City on the road in the snow.
That was a big upset.
Dude, we were in Elgin broadcasting
the
football.
The wind was bad where we were at.
In Elgin?
Yeah, the wind was terrible.
Yeah, especially for our camera operators.
Yeah,
it was hot.
That was karma. We were talking about, man, it's hot in here. Turn the heat off. Keep the door open. It's hot in here.
God said, I got a little something for you.
Yeah, you're going to Grove.
You're going to Grove. Sitting on top of the stadium.
Coach's box.
Well, you call it what you want. It's the top.
Yeah, it's the top.
Yeah, it's the top.
But Cannon, it was awesome. It was weird to see the pictures of snow, covering the field.
Yeah. A lot of different states, but we got a picture from our good buddy T-Fred sent us one, and it was snow covered.
Yeah. I mean, that was the perfect elements for Piedmont to pull off that upset with the way they run, because they don't pass the ball, they run the ball, and I mean that was just.
And if you're not disciplined on defense, you're not going to stop that offense.
Yeah.
If you have discipline, you game plan. Let's be honest, it's a pretty easy offense to stop.
Yeah.
But if it's not, if you don't have those disciplines, boy, I tell you, and we saw last week, that's got to be the most points Piedmont's put up in years.
We can look at that when we break down.
It's got to be, though.
Yeah. Real quick, the performance there, Cannon Wood, 200-plus yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Yeah. And so, real quick before we hit our first break of the night, Matt Hattie says, Oku, who? Yeah, I remember a couple of wheel routes, although he did fake it like ankle injury, like he limps off the field, sits out one play, then comes in and does the wheel route.
Matt Hattie talks like somebody that might have played against him,
too. Yeah. Coach Oliver says, predicting a 5-8-2 sweep this week?
Woo!
Eyeballs?
Was that a question mark or was that a statement?
Those are eyeballs.
What does that mean?
Can they do it again? We'll break it down here in a minute.
What does the eyeballs mean?
He's looking at it. He's looking at it. Could that happen? That's on the table.
Is he? It is on the table. Is he trying to bring back those 6 YouTube subscribers that he took away from us?
We'll have to look at that here in a little bit. But
a little salty about that, Coach.
I think we had 122 when I looked the other day.
So will 5-8-2 go forward? Imagine 5-8-2 all 4 in the semifinals.
That would be incredible. It's not going to happen. But that would be incredible.
We don't want to give it away.
No. Well, I'm just expressing my views.
He gave all his picks out last week, first segment. Yeah.
Who cares? They're my picks. I can do what I
If
want.
it goes that way, we'll break it down here in a minute. It would be Guthrie, Carl Albert, one semifinal, which has never happened in the playoffs. And the other one would be Piedmont, McGinnis. So we'll talk about that.
So it means Piedmont's got to beat McAllister and McGinnis has got to beat Coweta. True?
Yeah.
Okay.
Coach Oliver says, put it on the board.
Gonna happen.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Well, he says,
Now.
he said now going to
Yeah,
happen.
he types like you.
Oh, okay.
All right. Take our opening timeout. We come back. We take a look at the brackets, the games that we'll play this week. We'll have the High School Huddle top 5 and also the top 10 games of the week. Toughest slate of games all year?
Yes. Not even close.
Yeah, no doubt. No
Going
doubt.
10-0.
We'll talk about that after this. This is the High School Huddle presented by Generations Church.
At Generations Church, we exist to love God, love people, and serve both well. We're a multi-generational, multicultural church that believes in being a light to our city and our region. At Generations, we don't believe that church can be put in a box. We're a church that accepts all people from all walks of life, young, old, rich, and poor, and you will feel welcome at Generations. Join us at 10 a.m. every Sunday at 2524 West Noble in Guthrie, America. You can also join us at generationsguthrie.online.church.
Today I'm sharing Golden Chick with the world. Are you ready to taste Golden Chick for the first time? 100% tenderloin. That's where the golden tenders come from. Marinated for 24 hours. It is amazing. And we also got the rolls, made fresh.
It feels like they were just baked.
You know why it feels that way? They were.
Every time I go, I love to get extra rolls, so I love it.
We are being kind of photobombed right now by the one and only Clucky. Have you met Clucky the chicken? Don't get too starstruck. He's just a regular guy. One taste, and you're golden. He's on Tender. That's like a chicken dating app.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy. Aspen Roofing is a family-owned roofing company with more than 20 years of experience and achievements across Oklahoma. Aspen Roofing takes pride in the personal service we provide on each job, and we strive to maintain the highest level of quality while offering our customers a reasonable price. It is our commitment to help you understand the process of getting a new roof from start to finish. Call Robbie Hudson for a free roofing estimate at 405-562-0026.
Exxon was founded by two combat-proven veterans to help businesses grow from mediocre to exceptional. We know from experience that your culture and trust throughout the organization drive superior performance. Most business owners focus on the urgent rather than the important. They are just struggling to survive. The team at Exxon helps owners identify challenges, build solutions, and focus on growth. Do you trust your team? Does your team trust you? If not, we can help. We are Exxon.
Hey, you in the third row. Yes, you. When was your last dental checkup? Dr. Lewis Turney and his staff provide dental care in a fun, relaxing environment. Still not convinced? Prefer to sleep through your appointment? No problem. We can do that too. Our staff can ensure you have a relaxing experience no matter what. Got kids? Hey, so do we. Come see what all the moms are talking about. Our kid-friendly staff loves to provide care to even the tiniest of teeth. Give us a call today. We've got the whole family covered.
Give Dr. Lewis Turney a call at 282-7600.
Welcome back to the High School Huddle, presented by Generations Church.
Welcome back to segment 2 of the High School Huddle. Ronnie Phillips, Phil Nichols, Chris Evans with you on Wednesday night, getting set for round 2 of the Oklahoma playoffs. Appreciate everyone checking us out here live on Second Banana Media YouTube. Also on the Guthrie News page, Facebook Live. We invite you to subscribe to Second Banana Media. Not only for this show, but several other podcasts as well. Also, if you don't want to watch the broadcast, want to watch or listen on your own, you can always check it out on your favorite podcast platform. They're usually updated the following day on Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all those popular podcast platforms. And a lot of people do check out the podcast, and so we appreciate those. Those are good numbers on there, and always enjoy seeing those as well. So
yes.
All right, guys, let's kind of get into what the 6A1 bracket looks like. Remember, Bixby, Jinx, Union, and Owasso had the week off, so they had a week to prepare, a week to rest, a week to heal, all that good stuff.
Bixby needed it.
Yeah, Bixby needed it. So
let me down.
So here is the 6A1 bracket, and hopefully you can read that there. But Enid is at Bixby this week.
Oh, let's go leave a mark.
Jinx is at Mustang, right?
We're picking that one. Yeah, that's one of our picks. Yep.
Bottom left.
Okay, I make sure I had that right. And then the other side of the bracket is Union and Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow at Union. And then the other one, Owasso and Norman North. Owasso victory over Westmore last week, 41-7. Of course, Norman North did not play. Broken Arrow over Norman last week, 47-20. And Jinx easily over Edmond, 68-14. So Bixby Enid, Jinx Mustang. We'll be picking Jinx Mustang here in a little bit, but we certainly think Bixby will probably name their score.
Yeah, I think Bixby's going to be pretty upset. Of course, that 58-game winning streak coming to an end 2 weeks ago. More importantly, it's when they let me down.
They went on the Today Show.
Yeah,
why didn't they have Jinx
After losing? Yeah,
put Jinx on there.
They should put us on there for having Union all year long, right?
Well, we did do that.
The only poll in America that said
That's right.
Union for the good part of the season.
Well, you know what? We're a team.
Yeah, that's right. I said we.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think the best game in 6A1 is Owasso and Norman North.
Is Cole Adams back yet? Do we know?
I don't know.
Surely he's packing his bags to go to Alabama, isn't he?
I don't know. I didn't.
Man. I don't know if
that was a
I'd
good
trust
question.
my kid back out there.
We had production this meeting. That would have been a really good question to ask.
Well, we were here 4 hours for we.
Yeah, I know. We didn't think about it.
We're talking about other important things.
Hey,
But you don't
if
think
anybody knows,
Coach Oliver probably knows.
Yeah, let us know if Cole Adams played this
Coach
week.
Oliver probably knows.
But I think that Owasso, I think out of all the games played, that's the one game that has a chance.
See, I think Jinx Mustang's the best game.
I do too. Yeah.
It's a rematch.
Yeah.
Mustang beat Jinx earlier this year.
Yeah, I think Norman North.
Very beat up, very injured.
Yep.
Without a lot of their players.
Yep.
I think Jinx run rules Mustang potentially. I mean, it could go either way.
We're gonna pick it here in the next segment.
Listen, you take care of your own picks.
Jinx is playing a lot better now for all the reasons that you said.
Much better. And they're Jinx.
So no, that was not. They did not play earlier this year. Who am I thinking of?
They were.
So Jinx and Mustang did not play this year.
Jinx and Mustang did.
No,
you're wrong.
it was Jinx and Westmore.
Jinx and Westmore. No, it was Jinx and dadgummit, they beat somebody.
Well, they beat Santa Fe, Owasso, lost to Union, beat Enid, beat Westmore,
lost to Deer Creek,
beat Moore, beat Southmore,
Westmore, Moore,
Broken Arrow,
Broken Arrow.
So they have not played this year. I don't know what I was thinking of either.
Why are you doing that? I had my mind was set, and I trusted you as my.
They haven't.
Yeah, they haven't.
Did you see what Chris did to me there? I had a whole thought pattern going, and he screwed it up.
Here's your notes for the top 10 games, and
what's the number on the front?
10-0.
10-0.
Hey, for the record, if you go 10-0, or if you go 0-10, Ronnie goes 10-0, first way for tie for first.
Ooh. You're 10 games back. You're 10 double digits back.
Had to make a move last week.
Like I said, should have made the move week 2.
And I was winning a lot of those games until the fourth quarter.
Oh, well, if only we played 3 quarters
actually
of football.
It matters.
Chris, if only we played 3 quarters of football. Jeez.
Leo says...
You still would have lost that Bixby bet.
Leo says, you guys got phones? Look it up yourselves.
That's the Leo I know and love right there.
I need to meet Leo.
Get a lot of rest before you go out with him. That's all I can tell you. Get a lot of sleep.
All right, so that's the 6A1 bracket. 6A2 bracket coming your way right now. You got Bartlesville visiting Stillwater, Deer Creek visiting Booker T. Washington. The other side of the bracket will feature Sand Springs with the victory over Pump City, 31-21. They take on Choctaw in Choctaw. And we mentioned that earlier, that Ponca City victory, the first time since 1986 they had a playoff victory, and it was an easy one for them.
Congratulations.
35-7, and they are rewarded with a trip to Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Ouch.
So Bartlesville, Stillwater.
Are we calling any of these games? We predicting any of these games? I don't think we are.
No, we'll be in Grove when these games are being played.
No. I'm saying predictions.
No, I don't think we got any 6A.
So we could actually talk about this a little bit without Ronnie yelling at me.
Yes.
Okay. Correct.
Well, Stillwater, I think, walks through Bartlesville. I don't think Booker T has a chance in heck in beating Deer Creek.
No,
even with all those athletes.
Yeah, they've had all those athletes all year.
Well, it's playoff time, Phil.
Playoff, Chris?
Playoff Phil right now.
Phil, you're 2-0. Keep going.
Choctaw easily takes care of my Sand Springs Sandites, even though there's a piece of me cheering for Sand Springs. And obviously Muskogee, Poncasee's had a heck of a good year. Took some good steps forward in the program. But
yep, congratulations, Coach Hardman there.
Yeah, doing a great job. But Muskogee wins that game easily.
So the favorites
all go through.
All go through there.
I would agree.
Yeah.
And the next week's games are
a little tougher.
What we're talking about this week for 5A and 4A football.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you think about it, we're going to have Stillwater against Deer Creek, great ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Muskogee against Choctaw, great ball.
Those are going to be the best games of the year next week.
Yeah.
And if you look at the rankings, that's what the High School Huddle rankings have been every single year.
We've kind of flipped Booker T and Sand Springs back and forth all year.
In the five hole.
Stillwater's been number one all year.
Yep.
And then there's an argument for 2, 3, 4 with Muskogee, Choctaw, and Deer Creek.
Yeah.
Choctaw did beat Deer Creek.
Yep.
So
but those four teams are without question the class of 6A. Have been
any
all
of those
year.
4 teams can win.
Any of those 4 teams are capable of winning the state title, no doubt.
Ernesto says, "Let's go Ruffers," as they take on Ponca City. All right, take a look. Take a look at the 5A bracket. Here we go. Again, 5A2 was 4-0 last week. We mentioned the games last week. We didn't touch on this one, but McAllister defeats Collinsville 27-14. And before we break down the 5A bracket, if you haven't seen how that game was decided, Ronnie, we were at the convenience store afterwards, getting our post-game travel snacks to head back to Guthrie. And Ronnie showed me the video. And I'm like, Phil, where's Phil? He was in the bathroom, but you got to show Phil that. But
I saw it. I actually saw it. The INT.
Yeah, Collinsville going in to basically win the game.
Win the game.
Third down.
Go ahead, Ronnie.
It was third down and
a couple, right?
Third down and goal. They're on the 2-yard line. They're on the 2-yard line. They try a reverse pass, and the guy who does not throw the ball all year long throws interception.
And the guy goes
pick 6 all the way to the house.
A 98-yard interception.
99 yards all the way to the house to seal the deal for McAllister. And this was under 30 seconds left, I believe, in the game. So it was 20-14. Collinsville scores, extra point, they win the game.
Yeah.
And it looked like the play that the halfback that was running the ball is like, okay, we practice this. If I get the ball, I have to throw it. I think he can run.
He can run it. Yeah, he could run it.
But he's like, I have to run. I have to throw it. And he threw it. And
I'm curious how many timeouts that Collinsville still had, because it's kind of like the or like the Seahawks and Patriots in the Super Bowl. Why are you passing? Just run it into the game.
It was third down.
Third down. Yeah. I mean,
that's a tough way to go out
on the 2-yard line. Woo!
Tough way to go out. And McAllister had to defend it fairly well.
Yeah. I mean, nobody was open.
Was it who was it? Was it that number 7?
It was Chaz, I believe, who it was.
When I first heard there was an interception before we knew who made it, I just assumed it was McCarty.
Yeah, no. And that's the first thing I asked Chris Talbot, our guy down there in McAllister. Chaz Bradley was the guy who got it. Chaz Bradley.
That's great.
Pick 6 to win the game. What a moment for that kid, right?
Oh, and the poor kid from Collinsville. He may not be enrolled there anymore.
Well, he's got a ring. He'll be all right.
Yeah. Coweta easily over Claremore last week, 53-14. Dale City easily over Bishop Kelly, 41-14. We mentioned Grove. We mentioned Guthrie. So we'll take a look at the 5A bracket here, and it's a good one, guys. Piedmont making a trip to McAllister after that victory over Midwest City, 60-41. So Piedmont at McAllister. Bishop McGinnis at Coweta. Top of the bracket, Mid-Dale. How about this? Dale City and Midwest City down in 5A football for the first time this year. And there it is, a quarterfinal game. That's a state championship type game right there.
That's crazy.
Dale City and Carl Albert. That game will be played at Gary Rose Stadium. In the bottom of the back bracket, Guthrie making a trip to Grove, Oklahoma. Again, 5A2 undefeated last week. It would be hard to do so again this week. McAllister's going to be favored in that game. Coweta's going to be favored in that game. Carl Albert, Dale City. We're going to be picking that game here in a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
Just imagine that you're the 5A2 district champions, and your quarterfinal in the playoffs is Dale City.
Congratulations, you get Dale City.
Guthrie, meanwhile, who had a good season, they ended up third. No disrespect to Grove or anything like that, but they do have the easier path, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you say if you had to pick one, I guarantee you, Carl Robert or Bishop McGinnis would have picked where Guthrie's
McGinnis
at.
had this last year. Last
they
year.
did. All very good teams left in 5A.
Yeah.
There's not a bad team left in 5A.
Yeah, and again, I'm keep your eye on that Piedmont McAllister game. I'm not sure that could be an upset.
The Guthrie Grove game is a game that you really have no way of knowing where it's going to go. Of course, we're broadcasting again. We won't be picking it, but we can tell you Grove's the third smallest school in 5A. They made the bump up there. They got an outstanding Emmanuel Crawford. Their schedule has been down a little bit, but
three quality wins.
Still 3 quality wins.
Yeah.
Guthrie has played the best of the best when you look at Carl Albert and Bishop McGinnis, who's been in the top 5 all season long. They saw McAllister last year. A lot of those players, seniors, returned after having that experience. These seniors have won now, 3 playoff games?
Yep.
So they are experienced going in that one. And so it just comes down to how can you keep Emmanuel Crawford at bay?
Well, and I will say that
it's almost like he's going to get 200 yards.
Well, but listen, you and I talked about this earlier. He can have 200 yards, and Guthrie can still win. And you don't say that very often.
No.
Because this is what I'm saying. Now, Emmanuel's game is if he has 200 yards, that probably means he broke 3 or 4 long ones, right?
Yeah.
But I think the Blue Jays' defense, they're very good against the run traditionally.
That's what they do.
That's what they do. Last week against Elgin, who had a outstanding running back of their own, they had 28 yards rushing for the game.
Yeah.
So Guthrie's very capable defensively of going out there and pitching a shutout against anybody. I think they had 5 this year.
I mean, if Guthrie's defense shows up like against Carl Albert, it's going to be a blowout. Grove will blow them out.
I agree with that. And if Guthrie's defense shows up this week like they did last week, I think they beat Grove.
Yeah, they could.
I mean, anything can happen.
And it can go even silly as it sounds. Who gets cold? I mean, who's cold? Who doesn't?
I'm going to be freezing.
I don't think that's silly. I think that's a legitimate thing. I mean, we're not.
Who wants?
We don't
who
live
wants,
in North
who wants
Dakota.
it more?
These kids aren't used to this.
Yeah. Who wants it more?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's in all these games that would be played in the cold temperatures. But Guthrie now has multiple guys running the football in the backfield.
Yep.
I mean, their playbook is open.
Wide open.
There's no secrets on their playbook. They didn't have it against Carl Albert with the 3 or 4 guys running in the backfield. So Guthrie Grove, excuse me, 50-50. I mean,
obviously we're calling the game like Chris said, so we're not going to get it. But I could see this is anybody's game, and this drives Chris crazy when I say this. But I'm telling you, games like this, it's turnovers and penalties. It's who plays the most mistake-free typically wins these kind of games.
I think it's literally going to come down. I mean, I think the weather is going to play a big role in this game. And this is why coaches this week are talking about, this is why we did it in the 100-degree weather in summer. This is why we got to overcome this heat, and this instance to beat the cold weather. So we'll see who's mentally tough in this game.
That's real deal,
though.
All
right, no pick Guthrie Grove here. But with that being said, in the next segment, we are picking Carl Albert Dale City. We are picking McGinnis and Quita. We are not picking Piedmont McAllister. You guys putting McAllister in the semis?
I do.
Wait. Are we picking that game?
We're not picking that.
We are picking
that game.
So we're picking all 4 of these?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Okay.
I believe that's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah, I think we are.
1, 2, 3.
We're not picking Guthrie Grove.
Not picking Guthrie. Picking 3 of the 4.
Okay.
Yes.
So we'll have a good idea here in a second. All right.
Phil's pick. Let me write that down.
That comes up in our
You
next
better
segment, I
start
do
following
believe.
my picks.
All right, take a look at the Class 4A bracket. We kind of broke down some of the big ones last week. Blanchard over Weatherford in a great game, 14-12. And then, of course, earlier we talked about Clinton beating Bethany, 34-27. Clinton, hey, we get to host a playoff game. That's awesome. Here comes number 2 ranked Bethany to your house. But they win at 34-27. Tuttle, no problem with Chick-Shay, 41-7.
And Ronnie did almost pick Clinton.
Yeah.
To beat. I mean, you were real
I really
close.
wanted to, yeah.
I mean, 17 state titles in Clinton.
Yep.
They got the pedigree. We saw them just dog walk Tuttle in the state championship game. Was that last year or the year
Last
before?
year. That was last year.
Last year. I mean, so you got a lot of kids coming back that have rings that contributed last year, but I'll tell you, it's playoff football, right? I mean, and I like the 4A and smaller classes. Boy, playoffs get really unpredictable.
Yeah.
I mean, really unpredictable. So
And so here's the 4A bracket. Hilldale is at Elk City. Blanchard at Cushing. We'll be picking that game here in a little bit. Wagner at Tuttle. We'll also be picking that game. And Clinton at Poto. I think we're picking
that one as well.
Yeah. Okay, so the only one we're not picking is Hilldale at Elk City.
Yeah.
Elk
City, yeah.
But Hilldale.
It's going to be a good game. Yeah, Hilldale's very improved. Yeah, Hilldale will make a game out of this. But I think you're right. I think Elk City does continue their really good season.
And you've been a big you like Elk City.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had them high in your rankings all year.
All year. They've been my number 2 all year pretty much.
Yep.
Hilldale's only losses this year, guys. Claremore, 5A program. 27-10, and the other one to Poto, 30-7.
Good program. Yep, the Hilldale will play them tough.
Oh yeah.
Really the schedule for Hilldale. Broken Bow was a good victory.
Yep.
That's probably the best victory.
Yeah.
For Hilldale, but they play their schedule, and that's what they do there. So. Blanchard at Cushing, Wagner at Tuttle, Clinton at Poto. So we'll have more on the 4A bracket here in a little bit. That is a great week of football and 4A football. Take a look at the Class 3A bracket. Metro, Christian, and Cassia Hall, round 2. Holy cow, what a ball game that'll be. Kingfisher goes on the road and beats Lone Grove 28-27. They reward it with a trip to Lincoln Christian, who took it to Bristol 68-19. Another second-round game, the top of your bracket there. Heritage Hall and Stigler victories. Stigler had to work a little bit harder as they took down two-time defending state champion Holland Hall, 34-27. So it's Heritage Hall and Stigler. And then the other game we will be picking,
picking 3 of the 4 on this
picking
one.
3 of the 4.
Yeah, picking Heritage.
Bottom of the bracket is Perkins after shutting out Marlowe 49-0. They take on Verdigris, who shut out Berry Hill 28-0. So those are your 3A bracket matchups. So, and we'll go through our picks. We'll bring up the brackets as well to kind of see what we think the semifinals will look like. So. All right, take a look at the 2A bracket. Really no surprises outside, of course, Beggs beating Rejoice Christian on the lower right of your bracket there on your screen. Beggs took it to not only won, but won by 20. 48-20. They'll take on Idabel, who ended Warner's season. Washington OCS is an intriguing matchup. Washington, undefeated number 1 team in 2A football, took it to the Atoka Wampus Cats.
Oh, goodness.
Atoka is where the Atoka is where the Speaker of the Oklahoma House of Representatives is from. Atoka, Charles McCall,
Southeast Oklahoma.
Yep.
Chris loves his politics.
Right by my Durant Lions.
Choctaw Nation down there,
That's
right?
right, baby.
Let's go.
There we go.
Vian easily over Spyro, 52-7. They'll take on Kiefer in the second round. Another good one, Jones at home took down Newkirk by a point, 21-20. And now Community Christian goes in there 49-14. Ronnie, remember the big stud basketball player from Community Christian? I know Alabama's interested in him. I don't know.
He's going to Michigan State.
Going to Michigan State. Yep. That's right. I forget his name.
From a little 2A school?
Oh, yeah. He's man.
What positions he play?
Defensive end or something like that, maybe?
Yeah. Defensive end, running back, I think. Yeah. Defensive end.
Yeah, I think he's going to play Michigan State as a defensive guy.
I've seen highlights of him in football. I've seen basketball. And
I think I follow him.
How big is he?
I follow him.
Thick.
He is big,
He's like
thick,
a
strong guy.
He's like a Contrell.
Is he?
Real strong.
Okay.
Yeah. I follow him on Twitter, and I remember him posting his commitment to Michigan State.
Yeah, that's cool. I remember
cool.
that now. The left side of your bracket, the Leopards of Lindsay, the Fighting Jeff Murrays beats Kingston 48-27. They now travel to Millwood for their second round of the game. Sequoia Claremore, Eufaula. That is a tremendous matchup right there. I don't think they made it to our picks this week, guys.
They did not. We have nobody in 2A.
Okay, that will be unbelievable to watch. Eufaula and Sequoia Claremore. In fact, I think that might be one of the top. It's one of the top 2. Boy, there's 3 good ones, I think. But that's definitely a top 3 game. And so we've had Eufaula in the top 5 a good part of the season. And that one will be, that's going to be a 4-quarter ball game, I do believe. Frederick goes on the road and beats Davis in a good baseball score, 12-6. You got a little pitching, a little offense. But now Chandler has to make the trip all the way to Frederick. And I was talking to Tony Wilson. Now that I picked Chandler.
You're a Chandler guy now?
I finally got a win with Chandler.
I can't remember. Who picked Chandler a couple weeks ago and Chris picked against him? I can't.
I did. I picked him last week in the playoffs. It's all about playoffs.
Slips my mind.
I don't care about what happened in the regular season.
Playoff, Chris.
It's the playoffs.
Playoff, Chris.
So
Playoffs.
But Chandler, so Tony and I were talking. I go, yeah, I got to go to Grove. I got to go to Frederick. Looked it up. One's 180 miles. The other's 179 miles.
Did he get us by 1 mile?
I think we got him by
1 mile.
Yeah, I think we got him by
We'll take a snow cone next time we see you.
So, pizza. I'll take pizza. I had a pizza at the state softball tournament. It was good. Prague takes on Victory Christian, and that's another big-time matchups there. Prague take down Hugo 34-14. Victory Christian take it to Pawhuska 79-22. So Pawhuska and Cashion season done.
Yeah.
That's the 2A bracket. Going here real quick. We got to get through this here quick. We'll talk about it. Class A, the top 4 undefeated teams make it through, no problem. Talking about Gore, talking about Ringling, talking about Fairview, and who am I leaving out? Ringling, Fairview, Gore.
Hooker?
No.
Hard to beat a hooker.
Ringling? Tonkawa?
Is it Tonkawa?
Hold on. Let me see.
Hominy.
Yes. There we go. Hominy.
They get there.
They all met Crescent, 46-14 over Dibble. So
let's go, Tigers.
Crescent will be hosting Moreland.
Ooh, good for them.
That'd be a good one. The winner of that game more than likely will play Gore. Gore has Woodland this week. Hooker in Wynnewood, and then Hominy in Qualpaw. BJ Honeycutt has family over in Qualpaw.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
It's a MASH episode.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Dead serious. They had a horse issue, and they called BJ Honeycutt's in-laws over in Qualpaw, Oklahoma.
Playoff Chris.
Christian Heritage takes on Fairview. I think that'll be a good ball game. Fairview favored in that one, but Christian Heritage. Fighting Eric Carlos took down the Red Dragons of Chelsea 52-14. They now take on Commerce. Ringling ends Cashion season 36-12. Ringling now plays Walters. Bottom of the bracket, Colcord and Tonkawa. That's another good matchup. Colcord and Tonkawa have been in the top 5 of the High School Huddle rankings all season long. Real quick here, we got to get our next break. Covington Douglas, Class B football. Covington Douglas at Laverne. Walika at Keota. Ringwood at Velma Alma, home of the Comets. Quinton is at Region Prep. The other side of the bracket features Pioneer at Dewar. Warika is at Oklahoma Bible. Caddo at Wetumpka. And Hollis is at Sealing. And real quick, your Class C bracket includes Thackerville at Winoka. Mount View Godibo at Westland Christian.
Love that name.
Maysville visits Tipton. And Timberlake is at Maud. That is your Class C bracket. We're up against the break. This is the High School Huddle presented by Generations Church.
Aspen Roofing is a family-owned roofing company with more than 20 years of experience and achievements across Oklahoma. Aspen Roofing takes pride in the personal service we provide on each job, and we strive to maintain the highest level of quality while offering our customers a reasonable price. It is our commitment to help you understand the process of getting a new roof from start to finish. Call Robbie Hudson for a free roofing estimate at 405-562-0026.
Exxon was founded by 2 combat-proven veterans to help businesses grow from mediocre to exceptional. We know from experience that your culture and trust throughout the organization drive superior performance. Most business owners focus on the urgent rather than the important. They are just struggling to survive. The team at Exxon helps owners identify challenges, build solutions, and focus on growth. Do you trust your team? Does your team trust you? If not, we can help. We are Exxon.
Hey, you in the third row. Yes, you. When was your last dental checkup? Dr. Lewis Turney and his staff provide dental care in a fun, relaxing environment. Still not convinced? Prefer to sleep through your appointment? No problem. We can do that too. Our staff can ensure you have a relaxing experience no matter what. Got kids? Hey, so do we. Come see what all the moms are talking about. Our kid-friendly staff loves to provide care to even the tiniest of teeth. Give us a call today. We've got the whole family covered.
Give Dr. Lewis Turney a call at 282-7600.
Today I'm sharing Golden Chick with the world. Are you ready to taste Golden Chick for the first time? 100% tenderloin. That's where the golden tenders come from. Marinated for 24 hours. It is amazing. And we also got the rolls, made fresh.
It feels like they were just baked.
You know why it feels that way? They were.
Every time I go, I like to get extra rolls, so I love it.
We are being kind of photobombed right now by the one and only Clucky. Have you met Clucky the chicken? Don't get too starstruck. He's just a regular guy. One taste, and you're golden.
Golden
He's on Tender. That's like a chicken dating app.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
At Generations Church, we exist to love God, love people, and serve both well. We're a multi-generational, multicultural church that believes in being a light to our city and our region. At Generations, we don't believe that church can be put in a box. We're a church that accepts all people from all walks of life, young, old, rich, and poor, and you will feel welcome at Generations. Join us at 10 a.m. every Sunday at 2524 West Noble in Guthrie, America. You can also join us at generationsguthrie.online.church.
Welcome back to the High School Huddle, presented by Generations Church.
Welcome back.
Go ahead. Sorry, I'm just making sure Ronnie doesn't cheat.
Oh,
He just looked at my list.
It is time for the top 10 games of the week. By the way, Ronnie Phillips, Phil Nichols, Chris Evans. We are presented by Generations Church, our title sponsor. And a big thank you to all of our great sponsors. You see the commercials throughout the show. We certainly do appreciate them. Programming note, Cody Knox wants to know if we want to put Cheney on the YouTube thumbnail this week. Yes, let's do that. Let's go ahead and put Cheney on the thumbnail. We appreciate the graphic work there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cody Knox. So
Cody does a great job.
Get a little on-air production there for the Guthrie Grove matchup. He's working on graphics this
figured out
evening.
who Matt Hattie is yet?
Former Blue Jay, right?
You figured out who?
No, I haven't put much thought into it.
Speaking of Matt Hattie, before we get to our picks, how do I sponsor a hot chocolate hot dog review by Phil or Ronnie after a quarter?
No, send me the check and we'll get it going.
There you go. Ask and
There's
answer.
one L in Philip. It's biblical.
Ask and answer. You asked for it.
We can do a hot dog, hot chocolate.
As soon as the check clears.
Oh, we can do it without that. I know who Matt Hattie is. I'm one of his biggest fans.
Well, that's fine. He can pay.
Don't worry about it, Matt Hattie. You're fine.
Yeah, okay. All right, it is time for our top 10 games of the week. And before we go into that, let's take a look how we did it last week. Oh wait a minute. That's that should say through week 11.
Through week 11.
That's all right.
Nonetheless.
I gained no, we still 3 games up on you.
Well, yeah, you guys pick the same thing every single week.
No, we don't.
Well, you go 9-1.
You literally pick the same thing every single week.
Okay, keep that. Well,
you're lucky you went 500 last week.
I'm picking exactly what you guys picked this week.
It's not in you. You can't do it.
Well, if he does that, he's going to finish.
He's going to finish last no matter what.
Right, I'm picking everything against you guys.
Well, you have to. That's your only chance.
With that being said,
are we naming all of our picks so Ronnie can't cheat? Or are we doing like we've been doing, going this way so Ronnie can cheat?
It's your box, then we go this way.
So here's what happened. Phil is worried about cheating all of a sudden.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, it's getting close. I'm hanging on to a 3-game lead.
So here we go. Phil made us write down our answers.
That's right.
Before we went there.
That's right. Ronnie's on his laptop, so he can cheat anytime he wants. You touch any of those keyboards, I'm punching you right in the hair.
Look,
Phil, we don't condone violence on the high school.
I don't condone either.
Someone's going to turn us in the OSSA, and we're going to have one. We only have two warnings.
See, look, Phil, I got.
Don't take one
We
away.
got 2 left.
Yeah, we got 2 left.
Oh, I'm good with that.
I got mine highlighted, but which is which? Huh? That's the question.
The red's your pick.
Red means losing, right?
No.
In the red. Red. Okay.
Who are we going?
Okay. First game out of the box.
Oh boy.
Phil, you're on deck. It features
on the box, not on
on
deck.
the box.
Yeah,
Yes, sorry.
not on deck.
You're
on deck.
He's in the box. He's at the tee box.
Who typically gets the box? That's who's winning.
Yeah, since we tied last
winner.
week.
Let's do the opposite. Let's go who the worst was. I'll start. And we just go this way.
If you're in last place, you don't get to set any rules.
And if you make this great comeback, you don't want any asterisk with Phil.
That's right.
Because he will remind you, you went first that one time. That's where you made
I'll
the
be on
swing.
my deathbed. You'll come in and say, buddy, I'm going to miss you. Anything you want to tell me? You cheated. That'll be my last words I'll tell you. Put it down.
All right, so here we go. The first game out, and we take a look at the 3A bracket, is Perkins, 9-2 on the road at Verdigris, 10-1 on the season. Both defenses shut out their opponents. Verdigris over Berry Hill, Perkins over Marlowe. Perkins on the road at Verdigris. Phil, PT Deers, they just
I love them.
Right over there in Payne County.
I love them.
Right over there in Payne County.
Big fan. They've got a great revival facility over in Perkins.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Spent many a weekend over there praying hard.
Go ahead and pick them.
Verdigris wins the ball game.
All right.
Great ball game, though.
The Cardinal and
sorry, Ronnie.
Phil, for everything you said, I've never been over to the Revival over in Perkins.
We need to go sometime with me.
I've been to Perkins football. I've been to Perkins.
Revival with me in the Shawnee area.
Been to basketball over in Perkins. I've been to plenty of baseball in Perkins.
Yeah.
I've seen some softball over at Perkins.
Oh, boy.
Never seen the Revival there, but I've driven by Verdigris.
Yeah. It's got a great river named after it.
They do. Not too far from Claremore.
The Verdigris River.
But I'm going with Verdigris.
I knew you would.
Well, it's on my list.
I know. No, okay. I believe you.
All right.
Go ahead, Ronnie. Pick Perkins.
Picking Perkins.
PTD.
No, I'm kidding. I got Verdigris.
No.
I got Verdigris.
No.
I got Verdigris.
He said Perkins.
But it's all what's on the screen there, and it is Verdigris across the board.
No.
So Verdigris will play the winner of Holland Hall and Stigler in the one semifinal in Class 3A
Heritage
football.
Hall?
Heritage Hall.
Not Holland Hall.
I'm sorry. No.
Heritage Hall.
Stigler's already taken care of Holland Hall.
That's right.
Yeah. Stigler and Holland Hall. Oh, funny how it's the next game we pick.
Chris is a big fan of private schools.
Stigler, 9-2 on the season. They take on Heritage Hall, 10-1 all schools. I mean,
we were having a conversation. Go ahead. You're doing fine.
Okay. Heritage Hall takes down Anadarko 42-14. No problem there. Stigler got past Holland Hall 34-27. Holland Hall, two-time defending state champions, had players transfer out. They did a good job.
Good year
after
for
a slow start at Holland Hall, able to get going there, but had to go on the road to Stigler. Stigler this week coming down to the Oklahoma City area. Stigler, man, it feels feel tough for Stigler because they've had some great teams in the last 5-8 seasons in Stigler, just unable to get past, whether it's Lincoln Christian, Metro Christian, whether it's Holland Hall, whether it's Heritage Hall. They just can't get there. It's so frustrating. I can only imagine how frustrated they are in Stigler. I see it from Guthrie. I don't live in Stigler. I've driven by Stigler, and I would be so upset, and they're going to be upset again as they take on Heritage Hall. I got Heritage Hall winning this one by a couple scores.
Ronnie, you're up.
My unofficial state championship picks in 3A is Heritage Hall. So Heritage Hall will win this game, and they'll win it easily, I believe.
When did you pick Heritage Hall to win state?
Unofficially, off record, I did. In the drive
you know what, Chris?
In the drive to Elgin last week.
At the end of the year, I'm going to give you my unofficial state championship
Phil,
picks.
let's not argue about remembering anything because you don't remember what happened 5 minutes ago.
That's valid.
You're up.
That's valid. Heritage Hall.
Yeah, I got it.
Clean sweep.
I already got it down for you.
Yeah.
I already got
Heritage
it down
Hall.
for you. All right. We'll take a look at game 3. Well, let's just stay in Class 3A football.
Right,
it is Cassia Hall, 9-2, taking on Metro Christian, 11-0.
Cassia Hall.
I've had Metro Christian number
2 or 3.
Number 2 all season long.
Yeah.
I've had Cassia Hall in the top 5 more than you guys have.
That's right. No, you like Cassia Hall.
Yeah, I do like Cassia Hall.
Yeah.
You guys were messing around with Muldrow, and you guys were messing around with...
We were just having some fun.
Great job. Great season, Muldrow.
It was regular season. Ronnie and Phil were in full effect.
Okay. With all that being said, Metro Christian took down Pauls Valley 41-14. The Fighting David Jacksons go down.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
My state championship pick, Metro Christian.
Cassia Hall took down Ronnie's Muldrow Bulldogs 40-6.
Great season, Muldrow.
It was a good season.
Great season.
Great season.
Okay, so this third game, so who goes?
No, Phil goes first.
Phil.
Oh, we're back to Phil.
Well, Metro Christian, at the end of the year, we get to re-pick our state champions. I picked Metro Christian.
Really?
I did. Ronnie remembers, right? Metro Christian wins.
I hope they would. Yeah, you got to pick them.
Well, no, I mean, they're going to win the whole thing. Why does he look so confused?
They might not even make the state championship game.
You keep saying that.
Phil,
Yeah.
don't want him to make a montage after next week. Just stop.
They're not going to lose next week. Well, they got that team named after a president next week.
Am I?
Well, yeah,
you're
go
next.
this way, Chris.
Okay. Well, you guys have confused me so much on that one. I don't even know. Metro Christian's been number 2 all season long, undefeated. They are. I've had Lincoln Christian number 1. I don't think we're picking. No, we're not picking Lincoln Christian. I think Lincoln Christian's in the state semifinals, and I think they take on Metro Christian in the semifinal game. I think Cassia Hall. We'll give them a game for a good part, but I think Metro Christian's a couple touchdown win there.
And Cassia's a very good football team. Cassia Hall.
Yeah.
Very, very good football team. Ronnie, is that who you taking, Cassia?
I want to. I really
you
do.
You can't close any ground if you pick. You pick like us.
I know.
But you can go 10-0 for the first time.
Well, there's a better chance. Better chance.
I'm going to go with Metro Christian.
Oh.
Yeah, I think
Ronnie doesn't care about winning. Okay.
I've already lost, Phil.
Just waiting for you to say it.
All right. Game number 4. Yes.
Oh, this is a good one.
Here we go.
This is a good one.
Get your 4A brackets out. We got a 4A couple games here.
That's a good one.
It is Clinton 7-3 on the road at Podo. Podo 9-2 on the season. Podo no problem with the War Dogs of Miami 48-14. We've talking about Clinton victory a couple times now over Bethany. 34-27. Ronnie almost with his true heart wanted to go with Clinton.
He did.
In fact, in my mind, I feel like he did pick Clinton.
Do we want to give it to him?
No, but in my mind, not on the stat sheet, but in my mind, I think he went.
I think he did too.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Just couldn't pull the trigger.
I did in my head.
That might be why you're 10 games back.
I can't believe I'm doing this, but Phil,
you're up.
You're up. Okay. I'm really, I don't know anymore. You guys confuse me so much.
It's Chris's turn, right?
Yeah, you went last time.
Playoff Chris's turn?
You just went. Now it's his turn.
Okay.
Boy, Clinton's proved me wrong last week. I mean, if they took down number 2, they can take down number 3 or 4 or 5.
What's Poto's mascot?
The Pirates.
Don't bet against the Pirate.
No, a red tornado. A pirate goes chasing underground when a red tornado comes through. Though.
You ever seen an actual red tornado?
Yeah, a couple times at the football games and basketball games.
I saw him at the state fair.
Yeah, we saw him same night.
Go ahead.
What's a red tornado?
Go ahead. Pick the Pirate.
You have to say red tornado, or they will get mad.
Oh, they get angry.
You
have to say red tornadoes.
I told a guy last year. I said, "Well, my high school mascot was a tornado." He goes, "Red tornado." I said, "Oh, okay, never mind." So yeah,
this one, this one.
It's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
Yeah.
Clinton won their game last week against Bethany at home.
Yeah,
they're on the road this week. It's a long trip. Wow, Clinton to Podo?
That's a pretty good trip.
Well, after I pick my pick, I'll look it up.
I'll look it up for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, look at
team player.
You do that?
Clinton at Poto. I think Clinton can obviously win this game, but if I didn't pick Poto and Poto won, I couldn't sleep well that night. Yeah. I'm going with Poto, the Pirates. But that's Clinton, Western Oklahoma, having to go to Eastern Oklahoma. I mean, Oklahoma City's halfway.
Ronnie's efforting. We realized after I said I'd do it, I didn't know how to do that.
Oh, you just go to
a
search engine?
That'd be 275 miles.
Okay, that's a little farther than we're going. That's a trip.
Oklahoma City's halfway.
Yeah, I'm not
even halfway.
4 hours and 18 minutes.
Poto is up there by Fort Smith, Arkansas. Yeah,
Clinton at Poto. They're going to have to fill up 3 times. Okay.
Oh, more than that.
They're leaving tomorrow.
Heading out tomorrow.
Wow.
Who'd you pick, Chris?
Oh, Pirates.
Poto.
All that for the Pirates.
You dummy. Put Clinton down for me, baby.
Oh, look at Ronnie. He's 11 games back.
See, he didn't go with his heart. He didn't go with his mind last time.
Now he's going with his heart.
Now he's going with his heart.
You know what that equals?
Yeah.
That's right. One of these right here.
Red tornadoes. Here we go.
Pirates all the way. Pirates.
Can I see your list?
Yep.
You guys can no longer go 10-0.
So we have our first slight disagreement in our 4th out of 10 games.
Wait, did I say 245 miles?
Yeah.
Ooh, Lord.
It's a long ways to go.
It's artificial. Let's go, baby. Here we go.
Let's go.
That could be a great road trip home or a very long road trip home. So, man.
In all honesty, though, in seriousness, if Clinton were to lose that game, that's going to be fun. And towards the second half of the seniors enjoying that last bus ride with their brothers, that's a good thing.
There you go. The winner of that game, Clinton and Poto, will take on the winner between Wagner and Tuttle. What great 2-ball games on the right side of the 4A bracket. Tuttle, 9-2 hosting Wagner, 8-3 on the season. Phil?
Best 3-loss team in the state of Oklahoma.
Wagner at Tuttle. We've seen Tuttle. We've seen the two great young running backs. We've seen the senior quarterback in Dennis earlier this year. Tuttle easily over Chickasha 41-7. Wagner easily over Ada 31-0. Wagner Tuttle. This is like a 4A state championship matchup.
It's a great game.
This is a big time ball game. And
Phil,
you didn't go first last time.
I think no, I did.
Oh,
Ronnie's turn.
just for the record, this is my first time to go first. I kind of gypped you guys into going. Just give me the first time round.
It don't matter.
It don't matter.
We got them all written. We got them all written down.
It's the first time.
It don't matter. 10 games.
Wagner's going to win this game. Wagner.
So losing games does count for something.
Wagner.
Dadgummit.
Funny how you change your mind on things.
Not even close. Blowout.
Not even blowout.
Blowout.
Huh. Boys from Tuttle might have something to say about that.
Well,
we saw Tuttle firsthand.
I'm already in this deep. Yeah. I'm just going to go for it.
Yeah, Ronnie's right. Wagner.
Ooh, you went with me?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's getting ready to be 3-0.
Chris, you already wrote it down.
I know.
Just say it.
It's Wagner.
But
you picked Wagner too?
Oh, he did.
I wrote it down, but I can change my mind.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
Once it's written, you cannot.
You can.
Once it is written down.
Board meeting.
Even if he picks Wagner?
Once it is written down, we gotta live through the pain. I picked it because I wrote it down. You
pick what you want, Chris. You can change your mind.
You can't do it.
You know what? Even if I went first,
just pick a Wagner.
Give me Bulldogs. Bulldogs of Wagner. I would go to that game and watch. That would be a fun game.
Be a great game.
I can go, and then I'll just report back to you guys.
Happening. All right. Oh, there it is. There's the Wagner. So it is official there. Okay, we're up against our final break. When we come back, top 5 games of the week in the state of Oklahoma, round 2 of the playoffs. This is the High School Huddle presented by Generations Church.
At Generations Church, we exist to love God, love people, and serve both well. We're a multi-generational, multicultural church that believes in being a light to our city and our region. At Generations, we don't believe that church can be put in a box. We're a church that accepts all people from all walks of life, young, old, rich, and poor, and you will feel welcome at Generations. Join us at 10 a.m. every Sunday at 2524 West Noble in Guthrie, America. You can also join us at generationsguthrie.online.church.
Hey, you in the third row. Yes, you. When was your last dental checkup? Dr. Lewis Turney and his staff provide dental care in a fun, relaxing environment. Still not convinced? Prefer to sleep through your appointment? No problem. We can do that too. Our staff can ensure you have a relaxing experience no matter what. Got kids? Hey, so do we. Come see what all the moms are talking about. Our kid-friendly staff loves to provide care to even the tiniest of teeth. Give us a call today. We've got the whole family covered.
Give Dr. Lewis Turney a call at 282-7600.
Today I'm sharing Golden Chick with the world. Are you ready to taste Golden Chick for the first time? 100% tenderloin, that's where the golden tenders come from. Marinated for 24 hours. It is amazing. And we also got the rolls, made fresh.
It feels like they were just baked.
You know why it feels that way? They were.
Every time I go, I like to get extra rolls, so I love it. Mm-hmm.
We are being kind of photobombed right now by the one and only Clucky. Have you met Clucky the chicken? Don't get too starstruck. He's just a regular guy. One taste, and you're golden. He's on Tender. That's like a chicken dating app.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy. Aspen Roofing is a family-owned roofing company with more than 20 years of experience and achievements across Oklahoma. Aspen Roofing takes pride in the personal service we provide on each job, and we strive to maintain the highest level of quality while offering our customers a reasonable price. It is our commitment to help you understand the process of getting a new roof from start to finish. Call Robbie Hudson for a free roofing estimate at 405-562-0026.
Exxon was founded by two combat-proven veterans to help businesses grow from mediocre to exceptional. We know from experience that your culture and trust throughout the organization drive superior performance. Most business owners focus on the urgent rather than the important. They are just struggling to survive. The team at Exxon helps owners identify challenges, build solutions, and focus on growth. Do you trust your team? Does your team trust you? If not, we can help. We are Exxon.
Welcome back to the High School Huddle, presented by Generations Church.
Final segment here. Cheater Phillips, Phil Nichols, Chris Evans with you. Yeah, I meant True Bird says it perfect on our YouTube feed. Thank you, True Bird. When you're down 10, doesn't matter when you pick.
True Bird, you better be a subscriber.
True Bird.
That's the only way.
You know what? You get a free hat, True Bird.
Phil, and Jenna wants to know, Phil, are you feeling okay?
Yeah.
Oh, and Janet, just FYI.
Janet knows something I don't.
And Janet, we did invite these two to Thanksgiving dinner, so that's official.
On Thanksgiving Day?
Yep.
I'll be in Kansas.
Chris?
Thanksgiving Day.
I appreciate it, though, Aunt Janet. I would be there.
So you got to be back Friday for football.
I know. We're coming back Thursday. Coming back on Thanksgiving.
All right. Top 5 games of the week are now upon us. Phil doesn't want any cheating going on, so he made us all write down our games. After last week, both Phil and I, 9-1. Ronnie 6-4. Ronnie 10 games back of Phil. 3 games back of Phil is Chris.
Okay, we can put that down off. Let's go.
Okay, we will take
10
that
games.
off.
That's a lot.
You're up, Phil.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I will not be bullied.
I went last time.
Oh,
See
okay.
here. So Phil, Chris, Ronnie.
Phil, Chris. That's it.
Ronnie. Phil, Chris, Ronnie, Phil. No more cheating.
Thanks. What game are we picking?
Game number 6.
Blanchard Cushing.
Why didn't that go off?
Who?
There?
Blanchard Cushing.
Oh, that's an easy one.
Game number 6. Here we go. All right, Blanchard. Are they 8-3?
Yep.
8-3 at Cushing, undefeated Cushing, 11-0. Oh, Ronnie gets to go first on this one.
Oh, I just went first last time.
Broken Bow. Well, now we're back on the show. Blanchard, though.
Oh, sure, I'll go first.
2-point victory over
Dell City Carver game first.
That's okay. That's an easy pick.
Phil. Carl Albert. That's correct. He does. All right. First things off. First 4A football. Blanchard at Cushing. We know all about Cushing. Undefeated. Number 1 team in 4A football. Unanimous. They win games by scoring 70, 60. I mean, give Broken Bow credit. Held them to
Ranked
46
one
points.
since August.
Yeah. So, all right. Who we up? Who we got here?
Ronnie.
Phil.
Ronnie. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put Cushing on all these here real
Go
quick.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Cushing.
Guys, go
Cushing.
ahead.
Yep, Cushing.
Cushing.
Well, you got to.
You want us to pontificate a little bit?
The New Mexico State quarterback is going to go throw for about 350 yards, Burowitz.
And our
Blake.
And then the wide receiver is going to have probably
Camden Crooks?
250.
250.
receiving, yeah.
2 or 3 touchdowns. 4.
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. Cushing across the board here. So, guys, when we look at 4A football, so we're thinking here on the High School Huddle, congratulations to the other team, but we're thinking Wagner and Poto in the semifinal.
Yep.
And we're picking Elk City and Cushing in the other state
Be
semifinal.
Wagner and Clinton.
Well, it's 2-1.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We disagree on that
But
one.
we're 2-1. So go ahead, Chris. You were
The
saying.
High School Huddle
That's correct.
is thinking Poto, Wagner.
Freaking no lion team. No.
There's a mean that.
What do you think? Easy.
All right.
Kobe,
We now make our way to Class 5A football.
Oh, here we go.
Here are some big-time games. I mean, we got defending McAllister in a state championship game a year ago, taking on Piedmont, who beat McAllister. We got Quita McGinnis, Carl Albert, Dell City, Grove, Guthrie. We've talked about already. Now it's time to pick the games. Dell City Eagles, first year in 5A football. They've been in 5A a couple of years back, but 9-2 this year. They are at their crosstown mid-Dell rival, the Carl Albert Titans, who are also 9-2 on the season. Xavier Robinson, the great running back for the Titans, went over 2,000 yards rushing this year, 2,008 to be exact, which is the record for Carl Albert, and we talked about it. Pretty impressive. Yep. We traveled to Dale City, guys. We saw McAllister go into Dale City, win in overtime. We watched Del City host Coweta, the number 1 team in 5A football, and both teams snuck out of Del City.
Both overtime games.
In both overtime games.
Both converting 2-point conversions.
Del City has to go on the road. It's a short trip. We talk about
3.6
Clinton
miles.
going to Poto, Guthrie going to Grove,
Yeah.
Chandler going to Frederick. Well, this is like a
Well, it's a 7 o'clock kick, and they could leave at 6:15 and get there in plenty of time.
Yeah.
To warm up, do the whole thing.
With that said, Phil, it is a mid-Del showdown. Might as well be playing in the state championship game, but it's a second-round game. This is going to be a fun one. For me, real quick, I made it my top 10 picks. This was the last one I had to pick.
Yeah, tough game. I think for me, this is the best game being played this week.
This might be the best game for the entire playoffs at any level.
Could be.
Yeah,
could be. I mean, it's a great game. A pick'em game. It really is. I mean, anybody can win. I think for me, it came down to Carl Albert. We see him every year. For the most recent years, we've seen them 2 or 3 times a year. I mean, they're outstanding. They're well coached. They're disciplined. They're healthy right now, which is a big deal. Del City athletes everywhere. I mean, just
Division
everywhere.
I athletes.
Very rarely does somebody have more Division I athletes than Carl Albert. Agreed?
There's 3 or 4 on Del City.
But that's the case this week. I mean, Del City has more D1 athletes than Carl Albert. If I was going to go down through it, Del City's, in my opinion, is very one-dimensional. They don't have a real, outside of the quarterback who will run the ball well, they don't have a true running game that we've seen all year long. We've seen Del City, I will say this, I think the coaching nod goes to Carl Albert.
Yep.
And I think the discipline nod goes to Carl Albert. I'm picking Carl Albert in an absolute, maybe last possession, maybe in that third overtime kind of game against Del City, but I have Carl Albert beating Del City.
Yeah, Xavier Robinson is very, very talented, and he got better when the quarterback, Reed DeQuazy, came back from injury because everyone's on Xavier Robinson, rightfully so, but Reed DeQuazy can tuck it, go the other way, and he is a big, big-time weapon for them.
Reed doesn't get hurt. The kid might have over 2,500 yards for the year.
Yeah.
I mean.
And he's so physical. Only a junior.
Physical.
He's coming back. So for all that reasons, what Phil said, I like Carl Albert in this one as well.
Anybody that knows me, if there's one thing I am, it's loyal. I'm a very loyal person. And I tell you something, I'm going to do it. I had Del City, me and Coach Oliver picked Del City win the state championship preseason. And when it's time to pick again, I undoubtedly stick to my guns and pick Del City to win again. And I'll be doing the same thing this week as well. Del City upsets the mighty Carl Albert Titans.
And for the record, I picked Carl Albert in the preseason to win the state championship. Now, when the playoffs started, we got to reevaluate that, and I did go with Coweta.
I picked Carl Albert in the preseason, and I picked Carl Albert again.
So you're like me, very loyal.
Very loyal.
It's Chris.
Loyal and true.
Chris?
Loyal and true.
Yeah, you're mine.
Yeah, I changed my mind. I did.
He's got no shame. Playoff Chris is in full effect. He's here to win.
I do not. And speaking of my state championship pick, maybe I reevaluate this week, and you know what? Maybe Carl Albert is better. Yeah. Coweta can't win it.
Who knows?
Of course, Coweta would have to get to the state championship for that to happen.
Yeah. We're going to pick that game here in a minute.
We're picking it right now. Bishop McGinnis at Coweta. Bishop McGinnis 10-1 on the season. Their only loss coming to Carl Albert. Coweta does not know what defeat tastes like this year. Yep. They are perfect, 11-0. Victories over McAllister. Victories over
Carl Albert.
Victory over Del City.
Yep.
Coweta's had a great schedule, and they've won it.
McAllister.
McAllister. They've had some great games.
Can I change my state championship pick?
They are battle tested. Now, Coweta took it to Carl Albert when DeQuazy got hurt early in that game. So that would be a great matchup.
It's also week 1.
It was.
Yep. So.
But before all that can happen, Bishop McGinnis, best victory this year against Guthrie, which was a good victory. It was a last-second field goal.
Yep.
As they were down, it had to go mark down the field, and they did. In Joe's
questionable
Stadium.
Calls.
There was one. Yeah, there was definitely one. Whether they got it right or wrong, that's still debatable. Yeah. It depends on what frame you look at. But nonetheless, Bishop McGuinness easy last week over El Reno, 46-24. Coweta easily over Claremore, 53-14. And I think Coweta's just a little too much offensively and defensively. Coweta's got the Laverty kid who was the quarterback at Pump City North, made the move up there. He got hurt. Stark came in, went from wide receiver to quarterback. They didn't miss a beat there. Now they're both healthy, and you can plug them in at any given time in that offense. And I think the offense is too much for Bishop McGuinness. Give me Coweta.
Yeah, give me Coweta too. As a matter of fact, I don't think this is going to be a very close game. I think it's going to be a 2-score game at least for Coweta against Bishop McGuinness.
Yeah, I think Coweta dog walks the Irish. I don't think it's a game either. I think it's one of these games that could be a touchdown difference at halftime, maybe 10-point difference at halftime, and then I think in the second half, Coweta comes in and just imposes their will.
Coweta doesn't beat themselves if they don't turn the ball over. They should have.
I think that's the only way Bishop McGuinness has a chance. Coweta's got to go in and turn the ball over 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. McGuinness will have a fighting chance. Action.
Oh, that's good.
They got the quarterback and Warren Moon with 4 passing touchdowns. Michael Taffy. They got a great, outstanding linebacker, Bird, the Bird kid, who had transferred in from Westmore. So they have the ingredients. You got a quarterback, running back, and a linebacker. Those are pretty good 3 ones. But they're going to.
Well, they got Warren Moon. You said he's a Hall of Fame, so they got a good shot.
I said Warren Moon.
You did.
River Warren.
Coming out of retirement.
Phil, who'd you pick?
Well, I'm waiting. I did not.
That's not me. I'm Coweta.
No,
I thought I
Coweta.
I like Coweta.
Waiting for that to pop in. River Warren. I apologize.
There you go.
River Warren.
I mean, because if they got that other guy, even at age 68,
so?
I'm changing over to him.
I don't think he can get outside the box.
He doesn't have to. I'm pretty sure he can still throw it.
He can throw it so far, so hard.
Oh, so strong.
I remember him as a Houston Oiler.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. 100%.
All right. Game number 9. We stay in 5A football. The Piedmont Wildcats.
Ronnie's Piedmont Wildcats.
Finishing 4th in 5A2. Had to go through Carl Albert, McGuinness, and Guthrie. Went 0-3 out of those games, but they go on the road and take down Midwest City on the road in the snow and put 60 points on the board. I mean, Piedmont dominated Midwest City there. And they are rewarded with a trip to McAllister, Oklahoma, a place that we were a year ago. This
cold
season.
night. It was cold night.
Yeah, McAllister with the late pick 6 at the goal line to beat Collinsville 27-14 in a rematch of last year's 5A title game. Piedmont on the road at McAllister, and you got to stop Eric McCarty.
Yep, best player in
Piedmont.
5A.
So, that's a good discussion later.
Yeah. I said,
who's up?
You are.
Ronnie.
I'm up. Spent a
Piedmont Wildcat guy.
Piedmont's good. I'm telling you, they're going to have a chance in this game. I
think so too.
I spent many nights in McAllister, Oklahoma, back on my southeastern Oklahoma State days.
You'll never stay down there again after this. Go ahead.
Yeah, McAllister is a good squad. Again, I think they're very reliant on Eric McCarty. That's why I think Piedmont does have a chance in this game. Piedmont will keep this game close because here lately, McAllister has literally played everybody close.
Yeah,
and
they have had a good schedule.
Yeah, they get great schedule, and they haven't been able to really pull away from anybody here in the last several weeks. So I think it will be a game, a fourth quarter game for sure. But I do think McAllister does, with McCarty being, I think McCarty is the difference, but not on offense. I think he is on defense, stopping the flex bone offense. Yeah. That is the difference of the game. Is McCarty at the safety position, not the running back position.
Well, I think and I think
is it my turn?
No, we go this way, Chris.
Oh, so
jeez. It's not that hard. Playoff Chris is usually more focused than this.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. We were talking about this. A flex bone is if you're not disciplined, that's a tough offense. If you're disciplined, it's a pretty easy offense to defend, in my opinion.
Can be. If you have the
you got to execute, you got to have the players. But I think McCarty is, guys, we saw him against Del City. That guy can close to the ball unlike anybody I've seen in a long
hard to get behind him, running the ball.
Oh, he's just so
speed.
So his closing speed is ridiculous. I think I agree with Ronnie. I think it'll be a good ball game. I think ultimately, McAllister will win something like 28-14, 28-17, something like that. But I have McAllister winning the ball game.
Yeah, McCarty can definitely start at the University of Oklahoma right now. He's that good on defense.
Yeah, he can play for right now. Yeah.
It is Bedlam week.
Yep.
We maybe do our Bedlam picks.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Real quick.
Well, I can't wait to hear Ronnie pick O State.
If it was a restaurant fast food contest, McAllister wins this one by far.
Yeah, well,
although Pete's is a little outside of the city limits, I think.
We had a good meal there last year. Where did we go last year in McAllister?
Just Brahms, Phil.
That's a good meal. That's a good meal. Does Piedmont have a Brahms?
No.
There you go. Go ahead. Continue, Chris.
I absolutely agree on everything Ronnie said. I think.
What about what Phil said?
Phil, let him speak, will you?
I totally agree. I think Piedmont can keep this. I think this is a 4-quarter ball game.
You said everything I told you.
I think Piedmont can defensively hold this McAllister offense down. They practice it every day. They practice stopping the run every single day.
Yep.
And that's what McAllister does well. They can throw it okay, but
wheel routes.
Yeah, wheel routes. It worked a couple of times when we saw that live. But I think Piedmont will definitely make this a 4-quarter ball game, just like what McAllister had last week. It's at McAllister. I think that helps a lot. Eric McCarty on his home field could be Eric McCarty's last home game. Well, it will be his last home game. His home game in McAllister.
Great fans there too.
Yeah, great fans. I think he plays inspired. McAllister, both teams actually coming off emotional wins. I think McAllister wins it at the end. I think they have the best player on the field. I know Cannon Wood would have a good argument, and that's something he'll probably go out and try to prove this week. But I think McAllister wins this one in a close one. Remember, Guthrie went there last year. Guthrie had a chance to win in the fourth quarter, had an incomplete pass on fourth down. If they complete that pass, I think they go in and score and go to the state championship or state semifinals. I think it's a similar situation here this week, but I think McAllister just a slight edge over the Wildcats.
Except for no passing from the Piedmont side. There might have thrown 2 passes that entire game.
There might be you never know. That one pass, though, it comes out of nowhere.
Their trick play is a pass.
This game is going to, listen, if Piedmont comes back and wins, I'm not going to go, wow, I can't believe that. But I do think McCarty is by far the best player on the field.
Look at Piedmont.
No, it won't be close.
Look at Piedmont. They went up against Carl Roberts' running game this year.
Guthrie
played well against Carl Robert, actually.
They've been up against a good running game.
They have.
They'll be ready. That's why.
And it's going to come down to, is McAllister disciplined enough to defend the flex bone?
Yeah,
that's what's going to come down.
I think since we saw Piedmont earlier in the season, I think they've improved a lot since then.
Yes, I agree.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I do. Good football team.
Yeah.
Good football team.
All right. That is the 5A bracket. We don't have any picks in 6A2 football. We kind of went over it earlier, though. We do think Stillwater beat Ballersville. We think Deer Creek will beat Booker T. We think Choctaw beat Sand Springs. And we think Muskogee will beat Ponca City. So we're looking at possibly Choctaw, Muskogee, Stillwater, Deer Creek, and a lot of people had that game picked. That semifinal when the bracket first came out.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it plays out. That's why you play them on the field and not on the high school huddle. Although if you don't play on the field, the high school huddle is next best option.
100%. If it's our picks.
Yeah, that's true.
Ronnie's a little down.
All right. Final game of the night. We go to 6A1 football. Bixby will be heavy favorites. Union will be big favorites. Owasso, Norman North will be a great game. I'm not picking that game, guys.
No, that'd be a fun one to pick.
What do you guys got? You got Owasso, Norman North?
Norman North, big.
Owasso's been playing better the last couple of weeks. Norman North.
Yeah, Norman North for me too. Union, Norman North final. Bixby and the winner of this ball game, it usually probably gets the Bixby Spartans. Could it be a rematch of Week 10?
Oh, that's a rough week.
Bixby, could it be? First things first, though. Bixby victory over Bye last week. Enid victorious over Edmond Memorial 32-27. But it's Jinx taking out Edmond North last week, 68-14. Mustang did not play last week. They had to bye. Jinx makes the trip to Mustang, Oklahoma. Phil, you're on the clock. Jinx Trojans on a winning streak.
Well, I've been a fan of Jinx all year.
Oh.
We've got the tape to prove it.
That's cap.
They're Jinx. Now, Jinx beat up earlier in the year. They were Chris's preseason pick to win 6A.
Two-time defending state champions.
Yeah. And, they had a big loss when Shaker made the short drive to Union, transferred over to Union. Of course, Shaker's a sophomore quarterback last year as a freshman. Led him to a state championship as a freshman. But, they're healthy, and they run the ball so well. Mustangs got some big-time offensive weapons, OU commit. I mean, they've got some weapons themselves. I think this is going to come down to defense. And I think Jinx is playing really well right now. I've got Jinx winning this ball game in a really good football game.
Phil with the Jinx Trojans took down his Bixby Spartans a couple weeks ago.
Had to happen at some point.
So Jinx was indeed my preseason state championship pick. 2-time defending state champs. Coach Riggs got him going, playing really well. It always comes down to running the football in these games. They got 2 great ones at Jinx. And I'm sticking with who did I pick to win 6A1 football? Oh, Union.
Oh yeah,
yeah. In the redraw.
Yeah, in the redraw.
Yep.
But I'm going with my preseason pick here, just because they can run the football, and that's what I'm going with. No shaker, but they got Ike Owens. I'm a huge Ike Owens fan as well.
Love that name.
Good name.
And listen. Ike was a contributor on that state championship team last year at quarterback. I mean, I don't want to make it sound. Yeah, they did. Yeah. They did. So a very good football player.
Last pick of the entire night goes to Ronnie.
Got to speak, Phil?
I don't know. Can you?
Ike Owens, Jaden Carroll will run up and down the field. They'll win. Jinx will win by 17 points, and they better.
If it's not him, it's Stanford.
17 points.
And if they don't, they better, because I'll be very disappointed if I do not get to see the Bixby Jinx rematch next week. So
where Bixby will run rule Jinx. Won't even be close.
So enough about you. Let's talk about me.
Enough about you. What do you think about me?
Jinx, again, they better win, because I want to see that rematch.
We'll see him get
no disrespect to Mustang. I just want to see that rematch.
Yeah, I do too. I think a lot of people do.
If it comes down to Jinx Bixby, I got a big decision next week.
Not really.
Yeah, he does. He does. He does.
Jinx doesn't beat Bixby twice. You know it's true.
I've seen it happen.
You had Bixby beating OU earlier this year.
Well, I think they could.
Still right now.
So don't want to tee that one up.
All right, guys. Final thoughts here. I thought we were going to be done by 7:30. That did not happen.
Quite make it.
Oh,
real quick.
Bedlam picks.
Bedlam picks.
Yeah, go ahead, Ronnie.
No, I'll go last. I'm the season ticket holder here.
I got this is the Super Bowl for the Oklahoma Sooners.
Yeah.
This is reverse psychology. It's usually the other way around.
Chris,
not every
big
year.
OU fan. Chris,
not
a big
every
OU
year,
fan.
but I think this is the big game that this is.
Got to get bowl eligible.
The biggest game they have left.
They got to get bowl eligible.
Even the bowl game. They got to win this game, and they got to win next week.
This will be bigger than the bowl game if they make it
night
to the game.
OU fans will be into the ball game because this is their last chance to be loud, to have it to feel something's important.
Yeah.
I put all that together. Spencer Sanders is back for the Cowboys.
Oh.
And so I think OU wins this one in Norman.
Such a homer pick.
Go ahead, Homer.
You're going last?
I'm going last, yeah.
You know, I think OSU's won, 19, 20 games in the series?
About 19.
19?
Yeah. That's about right.
They're not out of the teens yet.
No.
So OU's
All
got,
time.
OU's got, about a 118-game lead on the series? Yeah, OSU's all about whether Spencer Sanders is playing or not.
Yeah.
If he's playing.
He's playing.
Yeah, no, and he will play. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored because I don't trust either one of these defenses. I trust OSU's defense a little bit more than OU's, but not a lot.
Yeah.
I think that with Spencer on there, OU's had a hard time with running quarterbacks all year. They've had a hard time against a rushing game.
Is Spencer going to be aggressive running the ball?
Yeah, because the kid basically took himself off the bench hurt, put himself in the game last week to go win it. He's a competitor.
He told Gundy what to do?
I don't think Gundy was arguing with him too much because I think Gundy knew also that was about their only chance. Yeah. But I think OSU wins a close one, like 35-31, something like that.
OSU? 35-31?
So I am a season ticket holder for Oklahoma. I'm not scared to admit it. That's fine to me. Still looking for a +1, so highest bidder if you want to go to the game with me.
You're going to have to pay somebody.
Hit me up. Oh, no. This is the Super Bowl, man. This doesn't matter if both teams haven't won a game all year. This is always going to be a good game. People love this game because the banner back and forth. Chris hates it. I love it. I think it's great. I love when OSU fans talk trash to OU fans. I love when OU fans talk trash to OSU.
Solves nothing, just like politics.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. Because OU fans, what they always do when OSU loses is, waiting for the loyal and true people to come out. No matter what if they lose by 100, always come out loyal and true. And it's funny. And the same thing with OU. People stuff does that.
Well, let me change that.
So, yes, I don't know how I honestly, I don't know how OU wins this game. I really don't. I have no clue how OU wins this game whatsoever.
Say it, Ronnie.
I have no clue how they even got 5 wins.
Say it.
But OU is always the big brother of Oklahoma State, and they will beat the Cowboys in Norman
by
1 point. A walk-off safety by the Sooners.
Listen, it's Bedlam, so anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Most of the times when OSU did get a win, something crazy happened.
Yeah.
You know, like when Coach Stoops, one of the finest college coaches ever to coach a game, decided to kick it to a guy named Tariq Hill twice. It just makes no sense.
Yeah.
Wow. One last comment. We'll give it to Billy Pop on Facebook. Will the cold weather be a factor in any of these games? We talked about that earlier. I think it'll be a big factor.
Yeah, I do too.
Big factor.
And we're going to find out. I mean, this is going to sound so typical of a football fan. Ronnie said it earlier. Who wants it more? And I'm going to say who's the toughest.
Yep.
I mean, that cold weather will allow you to see people's weakness. It will.
Yeah, just check out our broadcast on Friday night.
We'll be there crying.
My goal is not to bellyache too much.
My goal is to not cry on the air.
We're going to talk about that more on the open mic. If you stay tuned on Second Data Media, that comes right after we're going to hit the
Hot gummy challenge, too.
We got a challenge on that. So you want to stay tuned to the open mic podcast. As soon as this one is, we'll start the other feed. So check us out. Best of luck to all the high school football teams that are left. We're getting close to the end of this great high school football season. State semifinals are next week. Hard to believe. We'll break it all down once again. Big thank you to our title sponsor, Generations Church. Appreciate them as always. For Ronnie Phillips, Phil Nichols, I'm Chris Evans. Stay tuned. Up next, it's the Open Mic Podcast. This has been the High School Huddle.
Boomer.